Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, we're going to take a look at the qualifying offers. All 30 teams have issued their qualifying offers, which means that there are a handful of players out there who do not get their qualifying offers and are able to become UFAs. We're going to talk who is about to become a UFA coming up right now. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here at the Nintendo Hockey channel. Before we end this video, don't forget to like this video, subscribe down below. Thank you for all your support. We're never able to help you guys, so if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe button down below. Don't forget to leave a comment down in the comment section below so something else gets in today's video. Now, all 32 teams have made their qualifying offers. There's a handful of really good players that did get qualifying offers, and some even mediocre players, but there are also a significant amount of players who did not get qualifying offers. Now, I'm only going to look at the more interesting ones, some who have NHL experience or have some potential future at the NHL level. So I'm going to be looking at all 32 teams and seeing who they didn't qualify and who's about to become a UFA. So we'll go down the list. We'll start with the 8 teams in the Central. So we have the Hawks first up. They didn't qualify 6 significant players, including Taylor Raddysh, who they acquired in the Brandon Hagel deal, Mackenzie Entwistle, who's actually been a pretty good bomb 6-4 this past couple of years, Reese Johnson, who's been a really good fourth liner, Joey Anderson, who they acquired as a part of the McCabe deal, has been a decent bomb 6 forward, Philip Roos, who's a decent depth defenseman, and Jackson Stauber, who looks like at some point could be a potentially maybe backup goaltender for the Hawks. So those are some interesting RFAs who are not qualified and able to become UFAs. Raddysh I could see get an opportunity as like a bomb 6 forward. Same thing with Entwistle. Johnson and Anderson I think could be depth forwards elsewhere. Roos I wouldn't be surprised if we got like a two-way deal, got some AHL time at some point. Stauber I could see be a solid third stringer somewhere. So interesting to see the Hawks not qualify those guys. The Avs really didn't have any significant players. They didn't qualify. The Stars wound up not qualifying 3 pretty good significant players, including Lundkvist, Steele, and Murray. Steele was able to be a solid bomb 6-4 first star this year. We'll probably find a bomb 6 role elsewhere. Lundkvist is a solid 6th-7th defenseman. Could see him get a role elsewhere. Murray is a decent third stringer, so I could see him be a third stringer at some point. So some interesting non-qualifying options there for the Stars. The Wild didn't qualify Mason Shaw, Dmitry Ovechnikov, and Hunter Jones. Jones was a solid third stringer for the Wild, so I'm a little bit surprised he didn't get qualified. Could find a job elsewhere. Ovechnikov was a prospect they acquired in the Dewar trade, so I'm surprised he didn't get qualified. So I do wonder if he gets an opportunity elsewhere. Mason Shaw was actually not qualified last year too, brought back by Minnesota and actually had a really good finish to the season, so I wouldn't be over surprised if he got a depth role elsewhere. So interesting stuff there. The Preds and the Blues both didn't really have any significant players that didn't qualify. Utah did not qualify Nathan Smith, who was a decent prospect who looked like could eventually be a solid bomb 6-4 for them, so we'll see if he gets an opportunity elsewhere. And the Jets did not qualify Artem Knizaev. He was acquired in a trade from the San Jose Sharks. Looks like eventually could have been a solid 6th-7th defenseman, so interesting to see Jets not bring him back. Going over to the Pacific Division, the Ducks did not qualify 5 players, including Braden Tracy, Benoit Giroux, Max Jones, Gustav Lindstrom, and Urho Vakanainen. Tracy's been a really good former first-round pick. I do expect him to potentially get a deal elsewhere. Giroux has shown he can be a solid bomb 6 forward, as has Max Jones, so I wouldn't be surprised if they got depth roles elsewhere. Gustav Lindstrom's been a decent third-pair defenseman. Could see him get another role. Vakanainen, while he hasn't been the top 4 defenseman everyone was expecting him to be, is still a solid D prospect, so I wonder if he gets a role somewhere else. Dylan Dubé was not qualified. Not surprised. He was part of that 2018 World Junior Scandal team, so it seems like he'll be a UFA. I don't expect him to sign anywhere. You have Savoy, who was an Edmonton prospect, recently came over from the college, so interesting to note there. Savoy's potentially going to be elsewhere next year, so that's interesting to note. Blake Lizotte and Tyler Madden have both been not given qualifying offers for the Kings, so Madden looks like eventually could be a solid, decent player, is a really good prospect, so I wouldn't be surprised if he got an opportunity elsewhere. Lizotte was a really good fourth-line center, so I wouldn't be overly surprised if he wound up getting an opportunity elsewhere. If we look at the other 4 teams in the Pacific, the Sharks did not qualify Jacob Peterson, Philip Zadina, Jack Stanichka, or Kalen Addison. Now Peterson and Stanichka are a little bit surprising, but are not overly huge players. Peterson and Stanichka expect to get depth roles in other teams, but Zadina and Addison are interesting. Zadina just finished off a pretty good season in San Jose, and surprised that he didn't get a qualifying offer, so he's probably going to find a third-line role elsewhere. Addison shown that he has the potential to be a solid third-pair defenseman, so I'm surprised the Sharks didn't keep him. He'll definitely get a third-pair role elsewhere. Then you have Kyler Yamamoto, who did not get a qualifying offer from Seattle, so he'll probably get a bomb 6 role elsewhere. You have Nick Sissick, and Aiden McDonough, who are both not qualified by the Canucks. Sissok's probably going to get depth role somewhere. McDonough had a potential to be a solid bottom six forward, so I expect him to sign somewhere. You also have Mason Primo and Eric Schmid in Vegas. Schmid was just acquired, so I wouldn't be overly surprised if he was signed still. According to Elliot Freeman, they're still working on a contract. Primo's a little bit surprising. He was a decently high draft pick over the past couple of years, so I wonder if he finds somewhere else. Then go over to the Metro Division. Comtois wasn't qualified by Carolina. Not too surprising there, but he's a former high pick, so I could see him get another opportunity. You have Alex Nylander and Jake Bean in Columbus. A little bit of a surprise there. Bean's been a solid third pair defenseman. Nylander came over and worked really well on the bottom six, so I do wonder if they get third pair and bottom six roles elsewhere. I have Vukojevic, McLeod and Foote. McLeod and Foote are exactly like Dubé, part of that 2018 World Junior team. Don't expect him to be signed. Vukojevic looked like he was eventually going to be a solid prospect there for a Devil, so I do wonder if he gets an opportunity elsewhere. For the Philadelphia Flyers, you have Carter Hart, same thing, just like McLeod and Foote, Dubé, part of that 2018 World Junior team, not going to sign anywhere. Then you also have Pierre-Olivier Joseph in Pittsburgh. That's a little bit of a surprising one. There's still some talk that they're trying to work out a contract with him, but Joseph's a solid third pair defenseman, could even be a second pair defenseman, so if he does hit the market, I wonder if he gets signed somewhere. If you go to the Atlantic Division, you have Jesper Boqvist and Boqvist's brother, who was just bought out, so that's interesting to note there. So Boqvist going to head back to UFA status after not being qualified off for last year too in the Devils. Jacob Bryson and Riley Stillman, two defensemen, were not qualified by the Sabres. Bryson's a solid third pair defenseman. Stillman's a really good depth defenseman, so I wonder if they get an opportunity elsewhere. Detroit did not issue a qualifying offer to Jared McIsaac, who looked like a decent prospect defenseman. I do wonder if he gets another opportunity elsewhere. Ylonen, Anderson, and Norlinder all didn't get qualifying offers from the Canadiens. Norlinder looked like he was eventually going to be a solid D prospect for the Habs. Anderson had a really good season over in the AHL, and Ylonen looked like he was going to be rounding out into a solid top bottom six forward, so I do wonder if those guys get opportunities elsewhere. You have Parker Kelly, Boris Kachok, and Eric Brannstrom in Ottawa. Some interesting stuff there. Kelly was a really good bottom six forward. Kachok had worked well in the bottom six, so I do wonder if they get bottom six roles elsewhere. Meanwhile, Brannstrom was a really good offensive defenseman on the third pair, so he's not going to be back. I do wonder if another team winds up signing him, so it'll be interesting to see. You also have Logan Brown, who really didn't work out overly well in Tampa, so he wasn't issued a qualifying offer. And Noah Gregor, who was a really good bottom six forward this past year for Toronto, but he doesn't get a qualifying offer from the Leafs. So interesting stuff there. Some of the bigger names I think come out from the qualifying offer who are going to be UFAs at this point in time will be a guy like Gregor, Brannstrom. Yolonen's actually an interesting name. You got Bryson in Buffalo, P.O. Joseph in Pittsburgh, Bean and Nylander both in Columbus. Those are some interesting names. Yamamoto in Seattle's an interesting one. So is Zadina and Addison in San Jose. Lazard's an interesting one in LA. Vanakainen and Drool are interesting ones in Anaheim, as well as Shaw in Minnesota. Steele and Lundkvist for sure in Dallas, and then Raddysh and Entwistle, and to some extent Johnson in Chicago too. So some interesting players not going to be qualified. We'll see tomorrow if they get signed by new teams or if in the next couple of weeks. But interesting note there, these RFAs were not issued qualifying offers, and unless they work out a new deal before tomorrow, I think it was 9 p.m. Pacific time, they will become UFAs. So interesting stuff there. But that's all I'm going to talk about for today. Love to hear your guys' thoughts on all this down in the comment section below. Are you surprised by any player not getting issued a qualifying offer? And if so, who do you think could be some of the bigger names we see of these players who did not receive qualifying offers get a deal either tomorrow or in the next couple of weeks? Definitely love to hear your guys' thoughts on all of that down in the comment section below. That's all I'm going to talk about for today. Remember to like this video, really like it, remember to subscribe down below. Thank you for your support. We're never able to love you guys, so if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe button down below. Don't forget to leave a comment down in the comment section below so you can also discuss today's video. I also do a blog talking about news, rumors, analysis, stuff like that, so if you check that out, leave a link down in the description below. And I can't wait to see you guys all for next video. See you guys soon.